The visual design app, which is a continuance of what we just did here, I guess, in the previous video, or maybe video number 3, I guess. So it looks like we changed we have a text box here, we have a button, and it looks like we're making some type of change to it per se. So gotta be careful when you're designing these. They could be very edgy, very challenging. So we named it text view 1, as you see up here. I'm moving that text view 1 underneath the button that appears. I'm going up to plain text. And it looks like I'm adding another text button. So you could add as many as you want. The screen here is very easy to design something on the screen, personally. Alright, and we're changing that value to name. So we're going to have name, button, and another text button there. This is the padding here, so this will allow us to situate where we want things to be visible on the screen. So now we have name up here, and name is, it's just a pre-populated value in there, but someone has to change it, else if they hit submit, it's gonna, if we're saving it to a database, an API, whatever, it's gonna be saved there, and we want to get away from that. So you can type something here, anything that you want to type there. You can type on the keyboard, however you want to go. And if you have a touch screen, which most of you probably do with the PC, you could do it there as well. Good practice. So we have an edit text here, a button submit, and it appears, yeah. So we have a text view down here. Looks like I'm taking the text view out to nothing. The hint, I'm going to put a hint in there. A hint will be like a gray background, like a light image. It will say the input like that right there, which is nice. It'll disappear when you start typing into it, which is better than having a hard coded. See that input name? So it tells the user what to do. And you don't have to erase it. As soon as you start typing, it disappears, which is nice. I think that's a lot better feature than the previous one. And we're back in our new layout. I'm back up here in edit text, and it looks like I'm changing that value for some reason. I think because I already had a text view on here. So as you see, anytime that you add an object, a text view, an edit text, let me pause this real quick. You have to declare the button up here, or the value up here. So if it's a button, if it's a text view, if it's an edit text, if it's a label, whatever, you have to declare it up here. And then also you want to make sure that you have your library here. So for edit text, all that means is it allows us to input text value in there. Text view is just a way to hold a value. Edit text allows us to input data in there so the user can make changes. So we want to make sure that we have the library up here to support it, else it will not work. All right, so now we did two things. We have the library, we had it up here. Now we're going to put it down in a code. So this is where it's actually doing something. We're saying that edit text, and in parentheses we're putting edit text because what type of feature we're doing, and then we're finding the ID. Remember, the ID is the ID that represents that text field that's on the screen right here. So it represents that. So now we can find it and say, hey, now we could do something with this. Excuse me. So then I go in here and comment, which is very important. First step is declare the object. Second step is to locate the property and assign a value. which is obviously important. All right, so I'm probably telling you a bunch of stories here. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to come down here and declare a string, input text. Then I'm going to come down here and use that input text to do something with it, which is probably going to grab the edit text information, which I thought. So it's going to grab that information. When you do a dot, you get these options. We need to do get text and convert it to a string. What that means is above we have this edit text here, but now we need to grab that value and then convert it because, all right, so we have an error message, cannot find symbol variable edit text. So that just means that I messed up somewhere, edit text. What's that mean? Give you guys a few seconds. What do you think that means? It means that I watched myself do it in this video. When I went up there, I called it a edit text, not edit text. So it's looking for edit text, but it doesn't exist. So I either have to do two things: change it to edit text, or change all this to edit text and go out to the screen and change it to edit text. So hopefully I'm smart and just put a edit text. See, it's there. Perfect. And now it should hypothetically work. So look, I type in Jeffrey, I click submit, and it still says Steelers win. So we'll talk about the strings at another time. All right, so dot. I'm not sure what I'm telling you here, but I know what I should be doing. All right, so I'm doing input text right here so it could show that value. So here's another thing. Why would it not work? String input text. Input text equals a edit text. So it's grabbing that object and the value. So what do you guys think the problem is? What did I do wrong? Is that it? Am I just missing a resource? Maybe. Maybe not. I think they did tie when I did that. See, you need to have a resource tied to that somehow. And I didn't have a resource, I was missing it. So now I'll type in something here, probably my name, Browns, hit submit. See, there's tied today. So you see what I did here is when I clicked the object, it went over to the resource and grabbed that value. So we'll show you another way of doing the resource later on. There's a better way of doing it, but this is a way to get started with it. So all I'm doing here is just grabbing that resource and adding a value to it. So now I'm changing it to set text equals input text. So now we're doing something different where I could type in Browns didn't lose today. That'd be great. Hit submit. Browns didn't lose today. So you see the difference I did here. Previously, I grabbed the resource. So whatever value is in the resource, I grabbed it. But now I'm like, I'm not going to follow that method. I'm going to say set text to input text, which means whatever is entered here, and you click submit, it displays on the screen. Okay? Pretty straightforward, I hope. Oops. I think that's pretty much it on the video there. It just goes back and talks about that. So that right there ends that video, which is the Visual Design 4 design app. This is a redo voiceover from what I didn't provide the last time. All right. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have questions, Slack me. Other than that, I'll talk to you next time.